Hey YouTube, GhostRider007 here again. It is the 22nd or 23rd? It's the 22nd of May. My days and nights run together. It's a little hard when you work the overnight shift. Anyway, some little updates here. Doing a couple of things different with this new AMD tower. Don't know if I updated yet, but I did get the 1100T Phenom 2. And it looks like I'm running at 4.1, and the highest I've gotten is 44 degrees C, and that was under load with Prime 95, so it's handling the load very, very well. Using that Archon, I don't know if it's ProLimaTech or which brand it is, I can't remember right offhand. Anyway, it's working out very well. I believe it's the ProLimaTech Archon. I've got two Cooler Master 70 CFM fans, going to push-pull on it, and it's handling the heat load rather well. Anyway, the biggest thing is I've been testing several different video cards, and this video isn't for the purpose of providing number comparisons, bar graphs, and whatnot, because most of us are really not that interested in here. We want a bottom line. So bottom line is that I did get two GTX 480s to SLI on this Crosshair 4 motherboard, which, as most of us know, it's not an SLI board. I used an SLI patch from slipatch.com. Worked really well. It was easy to install, quick to install, and worked flawlessly. The only caveat is that you cannot use the latest drivers under most circumstances. From NVIDIA. The patch just isn't designed to handle that. I got as high as 269.00 NVIDIA drivers to work real good with it. A couple little things to doctor to get it to work seamlessly on my Windows 7 system, but it's doing good. Well, it was at the time. And then I went to 6970 XFX card. That thing was loud. And when I compared it to one GTX 480, even with the newest drivers from Catalyst or whatever AMD is calling it now, it just couldn't hold a candle to a GTX 480. NVIDIA just plain and simple has better drivers. I've never been a fanboy of either one. I've always used them interchangeably depending on what system I was using, and it just the bottom line is NVIDIA works better. It works better with games, works better with editing software. It's just you don't have as many troubles. No gaps, no ghosting windows or anything like that. Your mouse isn't flickering, or the border on your windows aren't acting funny. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that are real tweaky about the AMD drivers for the Radeon cards. I like them. I wish to God they would work correctly. I mean, they work good, but they don't work as good as the NVIDIA cards. From the 6970 XFX card, went to a GTX 460 SLI setup. Now these were 768 megabyte Galaxy cards. They had the ones with the little flip down fan from the fan shroud. They were pretty loud for NVIDIA cards. They were louder than the 480s actually were, which was kind of ironic, but they worked good, but I didn't like the noise. I knew I could do better. And then I got a deal on an MSI HD 6970, so I decided, what the heck, I'll give it a shot, testing video cards. Pretty much the same results as the XFX. The only thing I did notice is that the XFX card was it appeared to be a reference design. It had the back plate, it had the traditional fan shroud and everything, but there were little things you could tell. It didn't have the BIOS switch. It didn't have AMD on the bottom of the PCB by the gold connectors. There were little things you could tell that it was like a second version of the original XFX 6970 card, and the MSI was a plain and simple reference card, and it did work better. I got a few better numbers in 3D Mark Vantage, 3D Mark 11, and having benchmarks, they seem to they just seem to show better on the MSI card. Would have kept it, but again, tweaky drivers. I don't want to fool with any of that. And you know, I tested the Mafia benchmark too with all these cards, and Mafia likes NVIDIA, be it physics or just be it the drivers, who knows. It just looked prettier, it ran smoother, and it seemed just to, the whole sequence of video footage, or you know, graphics, or whatever you want to call it, were seamless. They just flowed one right into the other. They wouldn't do that with the Radeon cards. So and got rid of the Radeon, or the MSI 6970, and I've settled on a PNY GTX 460 OC edition. It's a 1 gig card, so it's the good GTX 460. It's basically the same thing as an EVGA, you know, reference card. It's got the big fan on the side and the concave dip in the fan shrouds, so it can still get airflow if you got two of them backed up together, you know, slot for slot on your motherboard. And this one right here is nice and quiet. It runs flawlessly. I've even managed to get the green, the red and blue 3D paper glasses to work in stereoscopic mode with it. I've played Modern Warfare and Black Ops with it, and it, you know, it mostly at night. During the day it doesn't work so well, but mostly at night it works very well. You get that 3D effect. You don't have the pretty colors, but you know, if you're looking for the 3D and to have things jump out at you, it kind of works. It's kind of cool. So I think the 460 is what we're going to hang with on this system. Bang for the buck, couldn't beat it. Out the door, it ends up being $150 after rebate. It's a PNY. You know, it's, sometimes I have good luck through their company, sometimes I don't. But for the price and for what I was getting the 1 gig version with the bigger memory bus for the same price as 768. So went ahead and went with that. I'll pick up another one and we'll SLI them in this system, because it just, even with the older drivers, it works better. So I ended up changing now to 8 gigs instead of the 16 gigs of Kingston HyperX Genesis. I sold off 8 gigs of it, just didn't need it. I'm not seeing any difference whatsoever in anything I do with video editing, gaming, or whatnot. Doing high res with high refresh rate and 1080p on my monitor, so there's just no sense in having it. Let's see here. I've been kind of fighting with this company, BitFenix. You may or may not have heard about it. They have a new line of cases. These guys are basically all from the Cooler Master CM Storm team that designed all their gaming cases. They went off on their own, created a company, BitFenix. When they demoed their Colossus case last year, it was really cool. I suggest you look it up on YouTube, check it out. Maybe you just Google some pictures or whatnot. It's a neat looking case. It seems to be well built. I did buy one. It was originally for this system, and some of the screw holes for the toolless mechanisms on the 5 1/4 bays were stripped out. It was weak, and I reported this to BitFenix on the 3rd of March of this year. It is now May 22nd, going into the 23rd, and through a long chain of emails and a lot of headaches and hoop jumping and finger pointing between them and Zoxide, it just seems that I'm finally getting a case sent to me. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. It's a replacement. They haven't told me what to do with the other case. I told them I'd send it back. You know, if they don't want it, I'm going to keep it and I'll find some use for it. But anyway, just watch your products from BitFenix. I've had a headache dealing with them. They're a new company. They're going through growing pains. That's understandable. But you know, I build a lot of systems for, you know, real expensive systems for people who want custom stuff and they want it done right. And I take my time. I don't rush through it. I use quality parts. I don't mess with any of that. You know, if you got to go back and have these people come back to you because their stuff's not working right or it's broke or whatever. It's not worth it to do. Just do it right the first time. And you know, then they're willing to pay for something that's a quality product. But and I'm not going to use a case that looks pretty but is broke in 2 days or was broke to begin with. So I don't know. You know, give them a shot. The product seems to be really cool. It's got a lot of cool features. It's got that LED lighting all the way up and down the sides and everything. Some cool design features. I look for a new revision within the year, and we'll see how that turns out. I don't know if they actually got anything in the works. They've got a couple of mid-tower cases. They have a Survivor and a Shinobi model. I've seen the Survivor. Little refinement's going to make that a really good mid-tower case, really attractive, but they need to tweak the design a little bit to make the side panels easily accessible and whatnot. But when it's together, it looks really good. I've sold one to a client and who does music production, and he loves that thing. That's about all I got right now. Just waiting on the 10th of June so that we can get the 990FX chipset and some Zambezi processors and get a system built. Probably going to use that new Colossus case for that, and we're going to give a true SLI a shot on the new AMD chipset. Hopefully that'll be living up to its name. I'm really eager to overclock one of these new AMD processors. I go with what works and what's going to be most cost effective, and I've had overclocking headaches and stuff like that with Intel processors. They seem to require a lot more attention to detail and whatnot to get them to work. AMD, you know, yeah, they're when you're benchmarking them, they're not going to be as fast as the Intels, but seat of the pants, sitting here using your computer, you don't see it. And you know, that's a lot like these graphics cards. You don't see a lot of the differences unless you're really looking for them. Gaming wise, if you're playing a lot of the latest games, Crisis 2, whatever, they're going to be showing the differences between those video cards. So that's kind of my rant for now. Be looking for some more hardware stuff. I'm going to be I would have made videos for all these video cards, but it was just way too involved in doing that. And right now my time is rather constrained due to my full-time job and family responsibilities, so I'm just stealing a few minutes here at the end of the night. And anyway, be looking for more. I want to test out some. I've got some new hardware on the way I'm going to be testing, and for another vendor, and we'll see where we go from there. Be looking for a review on the new ProLimaTech Genesis. That's a new CPU cooler. It's a dual tower design, but one tower is bent down to cool the memory modules. It's kind of a unique design. You haven't seen too many of those, if at all, if any. And I think it was Custom PC, the European magazine, rated it very high, like 92 out of 100, and that's a pretty good score for them. So I'm eager to try that one out. I like ProLimaTech products. We'll give that a shot, so be looking for that. Until then, it's Ghost Rider out. Talk to you later.